on, everybody? It's your boy Remo, aka Mr. Rich Threads. This is season 3. The journey's been kind of fun, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. From transitioning into fashion, actually making production, to actually talking to fashion and having conversations, because these are not interviews, y'all, where I don't like interview formats because the shit is boring. I like to have sit downs and conversations. If I'm with you, we can have tequila and sit down, whatever. But we have a special guest in the building today. How can I introduce this one? So I met our guys Xavier today, right? So we met at a fashion show, and real, when I say hectic kind of setting, real unorganized, but we made the best of it, and we always kind of had this understanding of why we were here, our purpose, and kind of like the message, which was fashion first, and then we always figured out the rest later. So with that being said, this is Xavier, the model, content creator. Now you produce fashion shows. We're gonna get into all of that. What's going on, X? How's everything?
Listen, I'm here. I'm happy I'm not in New York right now because it's getting cold. So I dipped to Florida real quick. So I'm chilling in the warm weather right now.
Better than us, man. This weather's upside down. Cold one day is warm one day. I don't know how to dress, man.
No, for you, because even with me, I was besides New York, I was also at my cousin Connecticut, and it's colder there than it is in New York actually, and it was crazy. I was like, yeah, I'm taking a flight.
Man, been listen. I ain't gonna lie. If I could run away for a couple months, New York might never see me during the winter either. But
And it's funny. I was thinking place probably stay in for like 2 months only because my job is remote. Everything I do is remote. So it's like I don't really need to see nobody physically for no reason.
yeah. Well, you're doing better than me, man, because I'm here. I'm just stuck here. Like, I'm just stuck. But let's get right into this fashion conversation, right? So when it comes to fashion, right? What's one of the earliest memories that you recollect to be like, damn, whatever this fashion thing is, I enjoy it.
I think I have to go right back to my country, which is Jamaica. That's the earliest memory I have when it comes on the fashion. Like the first time I saw fashion, of course, it was on TV, and I was like, okay, this is cute. This is whatever. My grandma was like, no, that's not for you. That's a lazy man's job. Like, figure something else out. So that didn't work. But then I still dabbled in it a little bit until I got to high school. My English teacher was the one who she probably tell her here in this part. My English teacher was the one who literally like influenced me to push further and go for it. She was like, "You have something, just go and see what's what. Like, don't doubt yourself out and let nobody doubt you. Like, do you?" So my earliest memories, of course, in Jamaica. Experiencing fashion scene there. It wasn't great as New York, of course, but it left a taste in my mouth where I wanted more.
What years was that around? You would think, because I could give you
Now,
the perspective of listening, watching from New York to Jamaican style, and you know what I'm saying. But around what year would you say that's?
okay, so the first, because I leave high school 2010, so I would say the first would be probably 2008 when they have the whole Caribbean Fashion Week going on and stuff like that. So that's, advertising on TV, everything like that. So that would be my earliest memory, of course. But then,
Oh no, man, no. Listen,
no, but then jumping into it is more like 2010.
oh no, we talking before that. Well, when we seen movies like Dancehall Queen and Shotters, we was looking like,
I don't know what the hell that. I don't know that was. I don't know, dude. I'm a kid. I don't know what the hell. I'm like,
oh,
oh, that's
so,
interesting.
well,
Naked.
let me put my perspective, because I'm people would think I'm American. My family's from
Mhm,
Barbados, so I'm not a Yankee doodle. So I know a lot about the West Indian
mhm,
thing. But when you see body lick shorts and pink wigs and shit like that, let's just say Jamaican style stood out more than any of the Caribbean because it was
mhm.
more risky, it was more bold, blue hair, red hair, orange hair, fishnet from early 90s. Yeah, well, we would call it wife beaters, but out in the West Indies, you say marinas. The
Yeah,
fishnet
yeah.
marinas. Those were a thing that we knew was more Jamaican thing than anything. So, like, I think Jamaican influence has not been it been understated for a long time, you know. So even like now you seeing '08, like you younger than me, but I think when it first hit, like especially like the New York scene and the urban scene, Hype Williams doing, those movies and shit like that. So it's like y'all didn't get a lot of credit that y'all should have been getting credit for, because you still see elements with Nicki Minaj with pink hair and she's Trinidadian, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so big up yourself a little bit more, man. Come on now.
But one thing I'm going to say, which that I was going to touch on later down, because when not I'm doing like the production aspect of it, like of course I create my own production company to create fashion shows, and I have to do homework because I didn't just jump on. I literally research. So I literally went on Google and researched everything, and I realized the fashion market in the Caribbean in general there's a lot of money in there that we don't see. Like whether the model, the designer, whoever you are in fashion, you don't see it. Because one thing I learned is like the bigger designers will come and take inspiration from your country, my country, all over the Caribbean, and go back and create a whole collection and say that's theirs. But in reality, that's our design. Yeah, that's us. So, but for me personally, I didn't understand fashion until like a later, like until I get older. Like, yes, I see the girls in their body rider and their or the whatever shorts. Like, I've seen it, but I'm like, to me, it's just cute. Or I raised my grandma, so Christian home. So it's like, oh, too much skin. But as you get older, as you get older, you learn that's fashion. That's a part of your culture. So even though I seen it like at a young age, yes, I didn't understand what it was
Yeah,
until I
yeah.
got old.
So being that now you kind of got an element of what you like. Your high school teacher was telling. Like how influential was the tradition of back home? Because I know it's a different realm of fashion when it comes to being in New York and then being back
Mhm.
home, but you still get a lot of the tutelage from back home, whether it's keep your pants shirt or no
Yeah.
sagging, certain things. So, what elements did you bring from back home and keep it traditional with the way you like present to your fashion?
So for me, like sagging the pants was never my thing at all. Unless the pants is literally just not for my waist size. So I always, have my pants on and everything. But one thing I brought back from I'm gonna say the Caribbean because we all get take from each other, but is the uniqueness of our dressing. Like you can see a Caribbean. I'm going to speak for Jamaica. You can see a Jamaican person in the crowd and say that's a Jamaican person by just the way how they dress because they make sure they stand out, whether it is in their name brand or something simple like we stand out. So that's one thing I brought into the scene here in New York is like when I go to castings or stuff like that. Certain clothes like we have to like wear like traditional all black, yes. But as I develop more and get my foot more wet in the fashion industry, I step out of the box. Like I still wear all black, but I push it more to like match my aesthetic in terms of my country fashion, what I see as fashion from my country versus what you see. Because what I notice in New York, everybody likes to stand out. So if I mesh in with everybody else, yeah, I won't be seen. So I have to make sure I stand out with the American culture of fashion mixed with the Caribbean or the Jamaican culture of fashion.
That stands out all the time. When you see a Jamaican, you see West Indian people dress a certain way, but when you see a Jamaican step back and he got 1 foot forward and give a
yeah,
that's a thing. That's a thing.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
The one pose up is the right foot is always in the front though. It's kind of like you know what I mean. You see me type thing, like.
Which is true because I remember I was somewhere with Norca and just like what you just said, the guy was posting everything. Norca was like, yeah, that's your people. I'm like, who? He was like, right. I'm like, yeah, that's my people. So I was like, I couldn't even hide it. I'm like, yeah, that's my people.
Oh man. So tell the people, how did you even break into the fashion space? Because fashion is it's a very niche society
Yeah.
that it doesn't lend itself to be almost like playful. Because it's if you design, they don't respect it if you didn't go to school for designing. And you don't know how to sew, you're not a designer. And then, if you didn't go to, the arts to learn how to walk and this at the fourth, you're not this and that's the fourth. But people do have the looks of it, but
Yeah.
they're not trained in a certain way. So the people that have taken the time to really dive into the culture, they kind of shun them out. So how did you make your way into that lane?
I must say, for me personally, like when I first got to New York, in my head I got this shit down packed. Like Who the fuck are you? Oh, can I say that?
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was like, who the hell are you?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
no, no,
Jamaican.
no. Who the fuck is? Go ahead.
So I was like, who the fuck is people? Like, I'm like, to me, like, because back then when I first moved to New York, the Jamaican models were on the scene. Like, they were hot, like Tommy, Sheena Moulton, like Jamaican models were really, really on the scene. So in my head, me coming here is just like easy one, two,
I'm
three.
next. I'm next.
Little did I know.
I'm next.
Little
I'm
did,
next.
little did I know. I got here, including the agency I'm staying with, which is the EMG. I went to all the agencies now, I built my portfolio from Jamaica, what I thought was a good portfolio. I came here, I went to agencies, and they're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I'm not talking about all the good, like from major agencies to standard agency to basic agency. They're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, damn. So I'm like, you know what is true? As Tara Banks would say, like, you have to have a thick skin and you have to keep pushing. So what I did was, Google was my best friend. Google was my best friend for everything. That's how I learned about different castings for like the freelance model industry. Because with fashion, you have two part of fashion: the mainstream, and you have the local fashion scene. So I got myself in the local fashion scene by doing my homework and everything like that, and connecting with people. And that's how I got my foot wet. And for a year, I did freelancing for 1 year. Because I gave myself a time frame. Like for 1 year, I'm going to do freelancing, work on my walk, work on everything fashion wise as a model perspective, and then go back again and try. And then at that point, I grew my hair, do that little sponge thing, whatever. And then I was like, okay. After the year, I cut it off. I'm like, you know what? Let's change the look. Let's keep it low cut and everything. And once I did that, and I didn't know if it went back live. A friend of mine, they tried to send me Instagram post of EMG models looking for curvy girls. And I'm like, oh, my friend Fiddy, I was like, thank you. So I sent it to Norca. I'm like, Norca, hey, this agency's looking for free, curvy models. Like, you should try out. And she was like, oh my God, Xavier, they're talking back to me. They really like me, whatever. You should try. I'm like, I know I can read. I'm like, can you read? Because this is curvy girl, looking for curvy models. Like, I'm a dude. Like, I'm a skinny ass dude. Nobody want me. So she was like, but Naka, she's persistent. She was like, still do it. I'm like, okay, fine, let me do it. And I did the same thing. I reached out to them on Instagram. I'd say, hey, I'm interested in being a model. Like, when is your open call, whatever. And then they respond to me like, oh, we like to see you in our office. I'm like, say what? So I got super excited and everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come to your office for sure. Like, oh yeah, let me know what day works best for you. I have a very flexible schedule, so I can make it. They went dormant, like no response. I'm like, oh hell no, you ain't going to play me. So I
Yeah.
literally pop up at the office the next day was Sunday. They gave me the Saturday, the Monday. I pop up at the office and they say, I was like, hey, you reach out to my Instagram to order. They talk to me, explain the contract. I signed right there and then. But I guess the person who was running an IG page didn't realize that I already got signed the day before. So they DM me and said, oh, you can come. I'm like, oh, I already got signed. So I was like, yeah. So yeah, so it was in the beginning. It wasn't easy because, of course, number one, you're a freelance model, you don't get paid for stuff like production abuse you, and then of course they're like, oh, you get pictures for your portfolio, but most pictures you get, it doesn't make sense. Like that to me is just like the lighting is bad, it's just horrible. So when I was doing freelancing, for me personally, and other models I know, of course, like it wasn't good. Like we didn't get treated good or whatever. We got to be. Our show's probably 7 o'clock. We got to be on set from 10 a.m. I'm like, why am I on set for 10 a.m.? Like I don't get it because it's a simple walk. It's simple. Like it was crazy, but so that's how I break my way in. I started freelancing first, and I did my homework. I paid my dues, and I jump into the mainstream aspect, which is with EMG models.
So how long were you actually signed in production with that company when we actually met?
So I think we met in 2019, going into or 2021.
No, it's probably no. We did two shows together, so it's probably the first one was
Yeah,
like 1920, something to that
yeah.
run. Yeah.
So the when we did the last show that we mentioned, that show that we what I did with the last time, that was actually when I got signed. So that was when I was signing them. But in the first year being signed,
Mhm.
which I didn't know this. Like sometimes someone will get signed and then start working instantly, but something
Yeah.
get signed and you just there, like they will still push you, but you're just nobody's requesting you, whatever the case may be. So I was there for like almost a year, didn't book any jobs with agency. Like they would send me the emails for like submit you to like name brand brands and everything. And I was like, yeah, submit me. I'm good. But then I learned my portfolio wasn't good enough. So these cast narrators look at me like, yeah, he is okay, but not. If the portfolio can't stand out, then therefore you can't sell the designer or the
Image.
commercial.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I
So
was meeting you because when I walked in the place, because like I give everybody a walkthrough of the back end as a designer, and then you could give the back end as a model or subject. I like to say subject because you make us look good, all right?
yeah,
So we walk into the place. It's hot as hell. There's 1,001 people. Or the organization and shit is crazy. And then like fashion is real bougie as shit. Like nobody really wants to talk, and then the people that over talk have no power, and the people with all the power are really like standoffish. So I come into
yeah.
the moment like, who do I speak to? I don't say shit. I with my paper and pen, I pick who I like. This, but then they give you, oh, this person is only working for this person. So why the fuck you showing me this person? I should even seen this person. All right, cool, fine. So I happen to see a couple people I like, and then you walk through. I'm like, he got a different look. And then you walk. I said, oh shit, like he could walk. Like, all right. So the problem for me though now is models are amazing once the clothes is on, but the footwear be terrible. Like the footwear
Yeah.
is, but you had enough different options where he was like, yo, I could wear this, I could wear this, I could bring this, and this is perfect. Because motherfucker can tell you right there, I don't have this color. These shoes is the ones that shit look like the dog was chewing them up. It's a whole ensemble we trying to look for, right? You know what I'm saying? So now you brought along, I believe, David was his name, right?
Yeah, David Hahn.
Gentleman. And then I said, yo, like these are the looks that I'm looking for. And y'all actually made the clothes that I brought bigger. And the vision that I kind of for each show, what I do is this is a conglomerate of people that help put a look. So I don't do individual walks at the end of the show where it's just me. I always say we all gonna come as a group. So while you're on this platform, I want to thank you personally. If you ain't never heard me say it, like what you did for my clothes, and then we did, side jobs after that. Where the what was it? What was it? Vogue.
Diane, the Vogue photographer Diane.
Yeah, we did a couple joints afterwards. So and the girl with the fat the jury and stuff was there. So it
Oh,
was, I forget her
I
name,
got
but just
I saw her the other day.
yeah. Well, the fact that just what you guys did in that space with just not knowing me, but me trusting you and you trusting me and making everybody look good. The pictures came out good. The walk was stunning, and I don't think that entity or show had that same presence since we haven't done it again. But that's a whole conversation in itself. But
No,
but
no, that is true.
give the people an idea of what really like is behind the scenes on fashion show day.
All right. So the good thing now, I have three different views when it comes on to backstage, from the model perspective to assistant perspective to producing the show perspective. So like three different views. But let's have the model perspective first. Being a model in a show, number one, and then when you elevate, you get used to certain treatment where if a shows that come and bring shoes, for example, you'll be like, I'm bringing no shoes. I've done the shows and they provide everything. I don't show up. Like, so you get treated a certain way when as you go up the ladder. Anyway, being backstage as a model is a little bit chaotic. Depends on production as well. Because number one, as you just mentioned, you get selected by the show producers to walk the show. And it happened to me before where I show up the day of the show, call out from work, show up the day off, and the designer was like, "Yeah, I don't have nothing for you. Like you you don't fit the vision that I'm going for." And I have to respect that because it's their vision. Then it hurts because of course you cut out of work, you lose money because you want to chase your dream or your passion. So it sucks for models sometimes backstage because you'll be there all day, hungry as hell, and you gotta find money to go buy food. The production don't even give you food, and they do give you food is some cardboard pizza. I'm not a pizza person, so it's like it's either eat it or spend money or just starve. So it's either or. So the models depending upon the production get treated poorly, especially when you're not even getting paid for it. But they have a love for the work and they want to achieve something from this industry. So they made a sacrifice. I was one of those models who made the sacrifice because I had a bigger vision that I want to work towards, but I know how to pay my dues. I have to develop a name before people can look at me and take me serious to some extent. So that's one thing. Assisting backstage for show production is like is crazy because the people who you're there to assist don't even know what the hell is going on. Like you say, oh, hey, where should this go? Where should that go? They're trying to figure it out. So people don't see the craziness that happen behind backstage. Like you come, you sit yourself a fabulous collection. To you, it was a fabulous show. But in reality, the things that happen backstage, we're just designers and production, models and designers, design models like it's crazy.
Yo, listen, y'all. Could you imagine as a model switching from one show to another show and then your fit hasn't even arrived, or the fit is being sewn together as you're on the stage with somebody else and you haven't tried it back on or nothing, like, you know?
Listen, I walked on the runway with needles poking the crap out of me, but I have to walk like there's nothing. And I wasn't even getting, I'm getting needle poke. I ain't getting paid. So it's not like I can take the money and go call Dr. Feelgood and see if I'm good. You understand? So it's like, I'm getting poke if I don't got no insurance. I'm on my own. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And
You get there like 9 a.m. for a 3 o'clock show. And they'll give you, this is what they'll give you, like pita bread and hummus, and bring a
if you
case.
don't, you get that.
So listen, you come
Sometimes
to
those
my
break
station,
on a dog.
I ain't got shit but tequila on deck. So you need a shot of Kirk before you get on stage. I'm your guy. The rest of that shit, I don't know. You know?
But I must say, with most production, they treat the models very poorly. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, especially like the collectives. And of course, I know own a collective, so therefore I'm going to speak on that later on because I want to make it different because I know what it is to be a model, what it is to be a show producer, what it is to be an agent. So I opened my umbrella in this industry to the point where I didn't expect I'd be doing most of these things. Like these things was not on my vision board. I just saw a need and decided, like, listen, let me do this. So production needs to treat models, better because in reality, if there's no models, there's no show. Like the designer will be there with the clothes. Who's gonna walk in the clothes? The designer gonna change every second and go, and that ain't gonna work.
Ain't enough time because people get disgruntled real quick.
Oh yeah, I get distracted real easily. If I see 15 pieces pass and there's more coming out, I'm like, I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm playing
yeah.
my phone game. Like I've done that before. I'm literally sitting at a fashion show. I know sometimes you get the front row seat and everything, and I'm there front row, literally playing um Family Guy game on my phone because I got bored because it was too much pieces.
Too much going on. Well, with that being said, kind of, I didn't have this question planned out, but
Mhm.
what do you think about the way that traditional fashion is viewed as far as like seasons? You think that's still a thing? Like, fall, summer 28 in right now, and
Okay, for me, I think the season they need to switch the season to begin with. February need to be spring summer, and September to be fall winter. Instead of February is fall winter and September is spring summer. That's just my perspective because to me, February is here. Coming next is summer. Yeah, it's winter time basically. We're going into summer next, and then after September is here. We're going into winter next. But hey, it is what it is. Um, I'm not against it. The only thing is just like for me personally. And I'm going to speak more of the production aspect in this part. When it comes down to the season, we just finished September Fashion Week. You got say you let's take away February. So you have January, February, you have March. So March starts, you have time to save your money as a designer to create your collection properly. You have time to do everything for September. September come, you show your collection, you did make your debut, and then of course you got to start ready what's next for February. For me, I just don't think it's enough time for designers to get ready for the next season. February is too close to September. So and then it's of course Christmas time. You got to buy Christmas gift for your kids, your cousin, your lover, who's the right like you got to spend money.
then all those people for mommy, daddy, grandma, like
It's too much. So in
yeah,
mind, I'm like, to be honest, and I noticed this with a different production company. I won't call any name. We talk about that later. It's like they do fashion show one time a year, and then to me it makes sense when they do it in September because
yeah.
it give everybody time to create, whether to go after sponsors, whether it's to go try to scout designers. Like it gave the production more time, and that's one thing I'm going to do for my production is try to focus more on the time aspect in terms of for me. I will just do September for now, and if the demand say, listen, I need February as well. Once I have the demand, then I will jump into February and September. But for now, the pressure is too much for February because September is just done, and then it's February as you turn around. So it's like there's not enough time for you to prepare yourself as the designer because in reality, without a designer, I don't have a show. I can't produce a show. So what
Yeah.
am I going to produce if there's no designer?
I think the only problem with seasonal things as even like an independent designer, without a strong back end funding becomes an issue. So you actually have to have money for to produce the clothes, whether it be samples or not. Right?
Yeah,
You have samples to be produced, then you have to pay the entity to put on the show. And this is only talking one season. So you theoretically have about 4 months for this
for
to
the
happen.
next.
Yeah, for the following. So the thing is, if your clothing production that's in production right now isn't really hitting, you're displaying something that you can't return and recoup the following. But you're ready, but you already invested the money into the samples and all of that. But how you gonna get the mass production if it don't really hit? That's
Yeah,
the
I noticed with most designers that when doing shows, like I realize they repeat their looks. A lot. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't you just see this in September? Or didn't I just see this in February? But it's like they didn't have enough time to prepare, and then as you just say, like the sales is not sailing. So
Mhm.
therefore,
Yeah,
it's either I show a few old pieces plus the new pieces, or I just don't show at all.
yeah, yeah. So what would be some of your biggest moments? Because you had a lot in a small period of time. What's some of the ones that stand out the most for you?
The first one was when I booked my first job as a sign model. To me, when I was like, "Oh, can I model?" and I booked my first job, which truly was like a sparkling alcohol type of thing. It could be drunk on set, but it was okay. It was a fun show regardless. Um, when that's where I'm just tipsy, and they were like, "Oh no, drink it." I'm like, "Drink it." I'm like, "What's I got there drink?" But yeah, that was my first aha moment. But my biggest moment that I'm proud of myself was when I did Michael Kors. Like I wasn't the main model because you have Bella Hadid. I was basically Bella Hadid and this guy named Austin. I was like in the background. So there's a chance I will be visible and there's a chance I won't be visible. But however, I didn't get visible. But what happened where I respect Michael Kors is I was able to get credit from doing his shoot. And the credit by doing his shoot land me on models.com as official model. So to be on that platform, you can create a profile, you can have a profile, but you won't nobody can type in your name and see who you work with. So once I was able to get the credit, not just from him, but that was the first credit I ever got. Then of course from Target, then from Vogue, then from Karl Lagerfeld. So and then Adidas and Puma give me enough credit to like be seen there and got just like how you have your tick on Instagram. I got my tick too. I didn't pay for this one. I got the tick for free. I didn't pay for nothing. And they gave you the tick as approval, like you're a real model. And that for me was the best one because after that happened, the doors open even bigger. The other agents start coming after me, like, oh, we like you, whatever. I'm like, to be honest with you, I see what you're doing. I want to stick with this agency because they stick with me.
And they believed in you.
So
But how does
I
that
believe it.
feel? Like at first you went from like trying to audition, it was like, oh no, no thank you. And now it's like you get to reverse the roles like, no thank you. I like my position here unless you're bringing something else to the table.
I mean, it made me feel good. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like, yeah, I'm here. Don't talk to me. But then I remember it's ever just be humble because I'm a humble person. I come from a humble background, so I always try to remain humble no matter how far I go in this industry.
No,
Because
no, no. You said at
no, no,
first
for real. No, I was a diva in my head. I was a whole diva in my head. Like, don't get me wrong. I was like, oh hell no, don't talk like that. I was shredding them in my head, but in
okay.
the outside, I'm like, no, honestly, like I appreciate, but
Yeah,
I'm with this agency. But inside,
professional
I'm like, okay, shit.
professionalism. You have to
Yeah,
be
professional.
okay, all right, I respect it.
No, I was talking shit in my head. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, yeah, no, you want me because you see me work at this Puma Target and not like, no, you want me, or you didn't believe in me then, but now you
Yeah.
believe in me now. Like, oh hell no, like I didn't even know. Like when the agency was a good agency because it's above the agency I'm with right now. But however, because I'm also in the industry as an agent, we have the same client. So like the same thing you can do for me, I can do for myself. Only difference is
I could
you
put
may
some
be friendly with the casting director.
nice. Let's jump right into that though. Like let's talk about the new role. like what?
Mhm.
How did this come about, and like where does it stand right now?
All right, so how it came about was people keep asking me like, "Oh, do you know the models?" So like, I need a model for whatever. Like, not people like big producers or big agent, just like people who I was in the same field of work with that level, I should say, at that time, want a model. So I keep going to my agent. Her name is Angelina, and say, "Hey, Angelina, this like Richie need a model. Can you send him a package or whatever?" Or this, I explained to her who you are and everything to the point where she got tired. She was like, "Do you want to be an agent?" I'm like, "Huh? I don't. First of all, I don't know anything about being an agent. I know about being a model, walking and trying to sell the clothes on a runway." And I was like, "Yeah, I would like to be an agent." And she was like, "Okay, we have an opening." And she put me on a 3 month probation. I think it was. Yeah, 3 month. She gave me the tool. She literally handed me the tool to go do the work. So if I didn't do the work, then it was on me because she gave me everything I need and she guided me along the way. And within the first within the second week, I booked a job with American Horror Story. So one of my girls was the promo model for American Horror Story, and she bank. So for Booker, my first time to booking such a major thing with American Horror Story and getting my commission, because I get 20% commission. You couldn't tell me I was rich. You couldn't tell me I wasn't rich. Like, oh, you poor, you broke. Like, what the hell? So that feeling was like, oh my God. And then of course you'll learn, but then I have to. Then I remember. Then I learned where bitch ain't gonna happen every day. Where they're gonna come to you. So it's like, as in my head, they're gonna come, and now I'm gonna just sit back, type, and make my money. But you gotta go for it as well, because just like how you came to me, you probably go to 10 other agency as well, and it all depends. And yeah, so I had to like it teach me to go and do more. What's what I'm looking for? More outreach. So I have your information. I reach out to you like, hey, what's up, Paul as well? If you have any upcoming projects, let me know. I have our models selected. We have new faces. We have established faces. So it teach me how to network even more in the fashion industry. So now I was a model networking with designers and show producers to book a show, but now I'm also at the level where I'm in the industry now, learning the ins and outs of most of these things I would never learn as a model.
Yeah. Oh well, well they wouldn't even give you privy to as a model. So now it's
Thank
different,
you.
different conversations.
Yeah, so is that was a whole different ballgame. I'm not still doing it right now, but then I also learned why people say models are just what do they call them, dumb bimbos or something like that. Because for me, I hate reading. I ain't gonna lie, my dyslexia kick in real quick sometimes. But however, in order for me to get the information to you as a model, I have to read whatever the casting director sent to me and giving them specifics.
Break it down and what's asked, what was being asked of you.
Trust me. Sometimes they will send a whole Bible verse. And I have to go in and take out the key information that you need to know and say, hey, the second is looking for models for this specific date. This is the rate. I have to learn about usage. I have to learn about session fee. I have to learn about residuals. So it's like it teach me so much more that I will never know as a model. As you said, I would never be privileged to. But then it also comes where you lose people along the way because now you're in a different lane. You have to be mindful your name is not attached to a company, not just Xavier the model anymore. So you have to be mindful you act outside. And a lot of my friends didn't know that. I probably even if I tell you probably, oh, you acting like you bougie better than somebody, but it's not acting bougie better than somebody. It's the fact that you level up. And once you level up certain things that you used to do, let's say you can't do it no more, but it's a tempest everything. And some of the time we're at a place where I can display certain ghetto mentality.
Well, listen. Sometimes when we act up, they be like, "Oh my god, like I didn't know you did." You know what I'm saying? But that's when you so fed up with Sometimes what I would say is being in fashion. It's consistently been so toxic for so long. So when you try to bring new energy and new ideas into it, at first it's giving pushback
Yeah.
until you gotta say and be stern on what you're standing for, and then they might take notice, like, you know what, you were right the whole time. The old way wasn't working. So I wouldn't say it's just you lashing out as ghetto, but it's being passionate. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
You know.
But one thing I must say, like, because as I said, I'm with EMG since I got signed, and my contract just automatically renew every year. And for me, I don't see a reason to
Jump
terminate
ship.
my contract
Mm,
with them because Angelina, she's the reason why I'm at a certain level right now. Besides me pushing for myself, she also educate me along the way. You
yeah.
understand? And trust me, when I first met her, because she's Russian, when she talk, I'm like, Does she want to fight? Like, I'm mad Jamaican kicking real quick because he ain't gonna talk to me a certain way. But then I have to learn like, okay, she's Russian, she's very strong, and when they speak comes off very like very strong, but it's not being rude. That's just them.
They're aggressive by
And
nature.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she teach me so much that trust me, I would probably have to like to the point where, and some people don't understand, to the point where she connected me with a makeup academy. The makeup academy wanted to do a runway course, and I'm now a certified runway instructor from the Ministry of Education of New York. So I got a certificate as a runway coach,
You
and
do
I
it.
have to prove to the Ministry of Education why I need to wear like so it's not just taking pictures and say, oh, he's a model. Okay, boom, let's give him a certification. I had to literally prove to these people I have the capability of teaching these models how to walk and how to be a better model.
Yeah. Talk about walking. I remember it was one time, one of the shows we was at, and we sat down next to each other, and we was watching people walk, and we kept tapping each other like, "Look at this shit! Look at this shit!" Just die. And the fact that you know, your walk is natural and elegant, but it's just some people put a little bit too much into it, and then some people really can't walk, but they have a good look. You get the whole big bulky look. So it's like we were just sitting down there having a great ass time, and nobody knew what the hell we was laughing at, but we were just kicking up like look at this bitch, she doing too much. That's
But
just
then I learned the difference. There's mainstream fashion and then there's local fashion.
yeah,
Because certain people they walk in a look. I'm going to use Tyra Banks as an example. Look at this in Victoria's Secret fashion show. Tyra Banks is Tyra Banks. You
yeah,
understand? And when she was more slender, her walk was okay, or her walk was good. But now she get more curvy, which she's
hmm
not used to this type,
yeah,
and they slander her for her walk.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to me, I was disappointed. I'm like, what the hell did Tara just do? So at the end of the day, for me, I always tell models like, say if you want to be taken seriously, and I'm going to start with the local industry first, because that's where I started. I want to be taken seriously. So the whole glitz and the glam and the unprofessionalism on the runway, I didn't want to do at all. Like if it's like certain things like designers can be creative and I get it. You can be very much creative. But for me personally, if I come out on the runway doing all these twists and turns and backflip and all of these things like cartwheel, like to me, nobody take me seriously. They'll be like, oh my god, yeah. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not what I'm about.
It was
So
what's crazy about that shit is it's like there's a time and a place for a lot of that shit, but sometimes the walk takes away from the clothes where you're not paying attention to the clothes anymore. You're paying attention to how extra the bounce is on the ass or the titties
I'm
bumping
selling
up.
myself.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn what your clothes at this point. I'm
yeah,
selling myself.
yeah.
And the main point of you walking the show is to bring my vision to life, which is my clothes.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
somebody can see you in the clothes on the runway. I'm like, oh my god, I see myself in that, and then bring money to the brand.
To the
But
brand.
some models they don't care. They just want to be extra, and then they think they're the hottest thing since sliced bread, and they just go on the runway and do. Most of the females, to be honest, I ain't going to lie, it's most of the females,
Yeah,
and it's annoying because then what happened now, most of these same models who I've worked with as a freelance model, who know my agent and doing the modeling and I would say mainstream and semi-local industry as well. But they see you and want to be where you're at and want you to help them because of course you all started off at the same place. But then you have to click and be business and say to be honest, you just don't fit.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then when
yeah.
they tell you like, oh, you're being bougie or act like you're better,
Like
it's just
you don't
business.
appreciate curvish girls, and it becomes a whole. Yeah, my assets aren't appreciated. You know.
But it's not even just the curvy girls because Narca, I know a lot of curvy models. A lot
Yeah.
of curvy, I know better than these skinny ass girls. No joke.
Oh yeah, she can walk her ass off too.
Yeah, so I'm like, they can walk better than these skinny ass girls. So it's like, it doesn't matter if you're plus size or you're skinny, you have to practice your walk. For
Yeah.
me, I practiced my walk by watching American Next Top Model, but of course it was female, but I did my own twist to it to make it a male version. So watch
Yeah.
American Next Top Model, watch videos on YouTube, and then of course back in Jamaica when you're doing certain shows, they will have like a runway coach come in and try to polish your walk. So and sometimes when they're teaching me how to walk, and I guess it's the Virgo in my country, my friends, to me, that walk is trash. I ain't doing what you're teaching me because that doesn't make sense. And
Yeah.
for me, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Point
You
blank,
can't
period.
take away elements you like and then Pick up other
and apply.
elements and then you make your own. There you go.
Yeah. And that's what I did. I take from here, take from there, and I apply and make it my own to the point where, just as you said, when I walk, it was like, oh, he can actually was like that, show me, like, somebody appreciate me putting in the work versus it just me coming and doing. I seen some dude walk. I'm like, what the hell is, like, some lazy ass walk? I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I've attended shows where the shows at a good level because the models and the designers got featured in major publications such as Vogue, Elle Magazine, Harper's Bazaar, but then they have some girls and some guys in the show, all because they don't want to pay that who can't walk. Because I have shows where they reach out to the agency, and not just me, but also the bookers, and you're like, we want some models. I'm like, sure, we got you. What is the rate? What is this? They go silent. And some of these clients are big name people as well, who celebrities wearing their stuff, and they're making money because the clothes is worth like over $1,000. And you can't have the principle to get the model $100 plus the agency 20%.
Man, listen, this is big money in this shit. And what's the best part, and that made me feel good that, I didn't know the back end like you're telling me right now. But at most of my
Mhm.
shows, whatever I brought, I was like, hey, whatever y'all want, grab it off the rack before I go.
And trust me, we respect that a lot. Like, that's what most designers probably won't even understand how big of a deal that is when you give the model a piece of the garment, whether it's a t-shirt, whatever the case may be.
Yeah,
That means a lot to us as the model because number one, production, the production probably charge you guys 10, 15, $20,000 to be a part of the show.
yeah,
Please note. That money will cover, of course, the space to do the show
yeah.
and to
Audio,
get the correct media in the house. The models ain't getting penny from that. And then sometimes these same shows also sell tickets and want models to sell tickets. And then what am I getting? So for a designer to give a model a piece of um a piece of garment from their collection, that's a lot. Because most time I get stuff, I go home and brag and boast and like, yeah, this model, this is a designer. So I brag about it because for me that made me feel accomplished. Like, you're a designer say, here's a garment, take it. Like, that doesn't happen a lot. So
yeah.
yeah, especially when you're not getting paid.
See that, but that for me doing that just made me feel good. I was just, you know what? And every time I done a show, I done it like, just take what you need, or.
Yeah, and that's a one thing. Like, I remember when you gave me that jacket, the varsity looking jacket. I still have that jacket up until this day, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a button missing now because I had that jacket for a few years. There's a button missing, but I still got it. And and one of the things I really wanted to do, to be honest, I never said this to you at all. Even though you offered me a discount code, you remember that orange trench bubble jacket that
yeah,
I
yeah,
I wanted to buy that jacket so bad.
mhm,
And but back then I wasn't, of course, modern wasn't paying nothing. I wasn't really working any good money. So therefore I didn't have the money like that. So, and you offer a discount, but I'm like, to be honest, I wanted to pay the full price for it because number one, that day you take time out of your day and supply me with clothes to do the photo shoot with Diane, and you didn't ask for nothing in return. And for me, by me buying that clothes, buying the jacket was me saying something about, child, I couldn't find the money. That's, I could have afforded it if I didn't have so much bills to pay. Put it that way. It was just too much bills to pay.
Come on, virtual hug. It's all right, man. You should have just said something, bro.
That's just me. That's just how I am as a person. Like, I want to support just like you support me. If you support me for free, I want to support you in monetary. If you support monetary, I will support you for free. Like, that's how, for me, respect is everything. And one thing I must say, if, as I said, so if you support me, I support you. Point blank period. That's just how I am.
Yeah,
Whether it's financially, whether it is just showing face, whether it's posting on my social media. Once you support me, I support you because to me, without support, we won't get where we want to go. Because we need support.
I
So
definitely.
yes, I was like, yeah, but I'm like, it is what it is.
Listen, all good. We figure out something else down the road. Hold on, I gotta take a quick break, and we're gonna get into some current topics real quick before we jump off of this. Give us a second. We'll be right back, y'all. What's going on, man? Listen, y'all. I appreciate all the love. I'm just asking y'all, just hit the subscribe button, share it to somebody you feel that might want to be on the show, or somebody you feel that those should be on the show, which is great conversations that we have. Let's talk fashion, man. Hit the subscribe button. So, X, let's jump right into this shit about some new topics going on around, and just the current stages of fashion. And I've been seeing a lot of separation, we should say, between streetwear and high end. Do you think there's a particular reason for that? Because I've noticed brands are using less of the graphic looks, and the high ends are going towards more like traditional luxury looks, whether it be materials of high quality. You might get a small logo or like an emblem made of like gold or something like that. It's no longer kind of try to blend the lines of streetwear and fashion and high end fashion together.
Honestly, I think the high end brand needs to stick to producing streetwear looks. So, like, not that they don't, they do, but not as how I when I grown up seeing all of these brands like True Religion, for example. I don't know if there's still a thing. I don't know if there's still around. Like certain brands I grew up with, I don't see them like that anymore. You understand? So it's like, and then even Fubu, for example, 'cause Fubu was a big thing back in the day. I know they're trying to make a comeback. So I'm like, but what happened? But with a luxury brand, to be honest with you, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not a luxury person per se. Like, if I have a luxury item in my closet, then I have it. But I won't be the one to jump and run to go spend $1,000 and some luxury brand to get a shirt or whatever the case may be. But I must say, because I shoot for a few luxury brand, and the quality of their streetwear, I can get that on Shein. Ain't gonna lie. So I would not pay the price that they're selling for if I can get the same thing on cheap minus their logo. I even Kenna. Don't get me wrong. Kenna Street is a thing.
Listen, I know fast fashion is here, but I think it being the fact that it moves so fast, I think high end wins because you spend on more statement pieces. So there's no fast aspect of it. Because if I pull out a jacket 5 years from now, if I spend $1,200, that shit better have the same effect as day one. I'll tell you
And I
that.
think they have influence and certain brands when it
It's
comes down to like
Louis Vuitton,
because
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I have a bag where they're like everything I'm to the bag, just bring it back to the store, and we got it. I'm like, we got it. I'm like, what the hell? So that's actually like a good thing to have like insurance on your bag, which without you even paying for it, but probably pay whenever you purchase it, whatever the case of you. So
yeah,
honestly, I'm not against high fashion. I love high fashion. I love see a good high fashion clothes. But my thing is, but it's not everyday wear. Most of
yeah,
this stuff is not everyday wear, and I want to have something where I don't want to wear it one time, and because I got photographed in it by Getty, I don't want to wear it again.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? So
So,
yeah.
so you got brands like you familiar with Denim Tears with the like
No.
the flowers that be all over it. So that was a brand made by a guy named Tremaine Emery. He used to work with Kanye and a plethora of different brands, but it was kind of oversaturated to the point where a lot of people are like making fakes of it and all of that. So now he rolled out his second version of it, and now he kind of blending his brand with Marc Jacob, another brand, Saint Michael, and it's kind of giving like streetwear leaning on luxury. So it's kind of the reverse way, where luxury was kind of leaning on streetwear. Do you think there's a lane for that, and is taken the same by people who are lovers of luxury brands?
No, honestly, I'm going to say there's a lane for it because in the end of the day, there's a market for everybody.
Hmm.
There's your market for everybody because at the end of the day, if you can have a street, because I know people who design streetwear per se, but it comes off as a luxury type of thing. I would go and buy that to be honest with you, because number one, it's considered. I'm going to use Telefar as an example.
Yeah,
Telefar is to some people is like a luxury bag. You understand? Even though the bag is not expensive, because the smallest one is like 150. You
yeah.
understand? And for me, I would jump to the point where I was buying Telefar bag every time they drop the bag. That's how much I was buying the bag because it comes off as luxury, even though the leather is not real leather, but it comes off as luxury, and it was inexpensive.
And it was black owned, so the message was there.
And it was black. So I supported these people. So it's like at the end of the day, is everybody have a lane? Yes, everybody has a lane. Can I jump in your lane sometime and come out? Of course I can. We do it all the time when we're driving. You're in the fast lane, you go back to the slow lane. You're in the slow lane, go back to the fast lane. So therefore, you can always dibble and dabble. It's
Hmm.
fashion. Fashion is made for everybody. You can be creative, and please note the style you're wearing, you may not be the one who designed it. There's people designed before you. You're just creating that same design in your own creative, like your own vision, but
Additional,
it still resemble an
yeah,
design.
absolutely. So now there's another brand. I don't know how you Jack Lewis. it's
Oh, yeah, he wrote me out of his casting one. He was like, "Oh, we don't want no EMG models here." I
oh
was like,
Lord.
I didn't know he was even that big then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that brand is kind of giving the feel of a New York love, like the aesthetics that they're going for. Because right now, that old money aesthetic is the thing right now. It's kind of like business casual. I'm a trust fund baby, but I drink, my coffee in the morning and with my green shake and it kind of gives that element, but they're leaning on New York, which is New York we know as the fashion hub, where
Yeah.
diversity really is changed by fashion through us. Being that we have different weather, we have different cultures that's into fashion, but I just think that they've been doing a decent job at giving the diversity look
Let
to.
me put this for Richie, because at the end of the day, what he's doing, he's not the first. He's not the first
Yeah,
who was done. Let's start here. Number one, as I said, I respect his looks. I like his design. He kind of remind me of Balenciaga. He probably, if he see this video, he probably get pissed, but he reminds me of Balenciaga just because of his aesthetic of how he present himself and how the clothes is sometimes. However, the only thing I don't like with the fashion world is too politics,
mm,
because he's doing something that somebody has tried to do, but because they don't have the money, they don't have the not to say the money, they don't have the connections.
yeah,
You understand? So without the connections, they're not able to go to the level where he's at, where they can go to the Met Gala, he can dress a Cardi B or a Beyonce. Like, I just think like what they need to do is like give everybody opportunity. Because I love his look. I'm not bashing his look at all. I love his design. I went to audition for him to walk for his show. I love everything about him.
chase your
But
ass up.
however, he did keep my ass up, but he has a dirty. For me, I can speak because I've met him more than once. He has
Yeah,
a dirty personality. Like for me, I would check him and tell him to go whatever with his mother and his sister and his friend
sheesh.
and walk away. Because to me, you're showing on camera as like, oh yeah, man, so thankful, I'm so happy. But in reality, you're just this nasty ass bitch. Point
Mm,
blank period. You understand? And that to me is hypocritical. And then also to add insult to injury, when it comes on to getting some in the fashion world, whether you're a model, designer, agent, it's all about who you know. Because I've seen people pick other models, for example, for a fashion show,
yeah,
only because I'm friends with the agent or I'm friends with somebody.
yeah.
So it's
That's
like they don't give other agents a chance, they don't give other models a chance, and they don't give other designers a chance. Because I've seen designers who can, like when I said I see designers who can design down to the T, and most of these were from the Caribbean. They don't have that chance that he got because one, they don't have the proper connections, and even they know who to reach out to, they are ignored.
yeah.
You understand?
The
And
doors
then
aren't open. The doors aren't really open for those. That's crazy,
yeah,
man.
so for them, he's in a lane where it's easy for him because he got the money and he got whatever. So yeah.
So last on the docket, right? Ralph Lauren. So Ralph Lauren been bringing out renditions of the Yankee kind of collection that they had going on, and I think they just announced that they finally this creative director, they hired a black man for the first time. I can't remember his name, but he did go to HBCU, and
Let me
I
just
guess they trying to change, the direction of things up there. Me personally, I seen the Yankee collection, and it's typical basic Ralph, but with a New York flair to it. What's your thoughts on Ralph in the space, and could this, this interjection of black culture really do anything different?
I'm gonna say this, and because I just did something for Lavrance like a week ago. I was on. They had like a panel discussion
Mhm.
as about LGBT and immigration and immigrants in the country, and I was on their panel speaking to their internal team. So
Yeah,
I'm going to bash them, but I won't bash them too much because I'm also getting some free stuff from them.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure what I'm getting yet, so I'm
No,
waiting for it to
don't
come in
do
the
it
mail.
then. Don't do it then. Don't do, get the bag
I'm
first.
gonna no no. But what I'm gonna say is though, Ralph Lauren is a household name brand since I was a kid.
Yeah,
I know what Ralph Lauren was. I didn't know who he was, but I know what it was until I get older. I know who he is. Um, has his design aesthetic changed over the period of time? Yes and no, because I can still see something and say that's a Ralph Lauren clothes or whatever the case may be. For the fact that, and what you said makes sense because of course they reach out to a black LGBT somebody who would, and they reached out to me because of course I did something for ABC News and they saw the article and they find a way to mention everything.
yeah,
Um, But I must say though, by just talking to the a few people in the Ralph Lauren company who does different things, I'm not gonna bash Ralph Lauren because I respect what he's doing. Besides designing, what people don't understand that he does more for the community than just what people think. He has a whole pride section in his company dedicated to educate people about the LGBT and everything else. That company don't have that. So besides educating about pride, they have also cultural awareness. So what he's doing, he's giving opportunities to people who, to me, if you have a black creative director right now, he's giving opportunity to somebody to shine. I understand and I respect that. But if I didn't know what I know, how is it? If I didn't know what I know then or something, whatever the saying goes, I would bash him. But because I learned how he really operates, I respect him for operating the way he operates because he, based on my perspective and what I've gathered by just communicating with him for the past 2 months, he's a really like the company or what the company stands for is a lot more than what people think. It's not just design. They're literally there to support every single body. So I have to give him props.
And he also been a sponsor for the Olympics for a while too. And you've seen a lot
So
of
yeah, I have,
those looks lended to the Olympics. But
yeah, even if I wanted to bash him, to be honest, I'd be hypocritical because, as I said, knowing what I know now, if I say anything ill about him or the company, is just I probably just being a petty old just being petty. And I don't think I need to be petty because he, based on what I learned, and I'm not going to stop stressing, like he literally is that's inclusive brand,
okay,
not just clothes wise, not just race wise, everything.
that's great to hear that from that because I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't have known. I just know Ralph putting somebody in a position what I would expect and want to see come from that is the support of the '90s movement that made Ralph a streetwear brand.
Mm,
Like you said, the actual designs haven't really changed far, but there was a time where they had Polo Sport, and that kind of
yeah.
was where quote unquote the low life community really raised the flag in the streetwear version of Ralph, where you were seeing them pair with Timberland boots, and they're wearing those the knitted bear sweaters, and they had
Oh,
flags and the bubble jackets with the half color sleeves. And so at some point in time, traditional Ralph, the way that they wore with the polo shirts and all that, that was cool. But I think that the staple of New York kind of heightened it into more of a streetwear aesthetic. So I think having somebody in place that could actually, highlight that time frame in Ralph that
hmm,
made it so big, I would appreciate that. But we'll
yeah. As I said, he's really doing this thing. As I said, because I just like we said earlier, things happen backstage where the general public don't see. You
yeah.
understand? And it's the same thing with every company. Like even I'm not with the company, but by just being in their present for 2 months, like talking back and forth with one of the directors of the department, whatever I've got the name of the department he directs, just talking to him and networking with him, and he just teaching me stuff. It's like I learned a lot about Ralph Lauren that I don't know. Like I take all the way. Like so, I give Ralph Lauren a different look that I will give to any other brand.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if I should pick an ideal brand to work with, I would say uh, uh, Calvin Klein, CK. I love me some CK, but I have to give my hats off to Ralph Lauren's.
Okay. So that was going to be my last question. If you had the opportunity to be sponsored by one brand, what would that brand be?
I ain't gonna lie, I would say CK. Just like how Victoria's Secret is a woman, to me, CK is a man. So it's like that's into Victoria's Secret for man is Calvin Klein. So to me, that's one of the brands I would like, listen, sponsor me. Like, listen, I will never forget one day when I was in New York, like before I even got signed, I was just walking and I was like, I don't know where I was. I was near like Times Square area. And there was a setup going on. I'm like, oh, what's going on over here? So, I'm nosy. I'm Jamaican. I need to figure out what's going on. So I went over there and asked one of the guys that was bringing in the stuff. I'm like, hey, what's going on here? They're like, oh, a Calvin Klein show is going to happen here later. I'm like, crap. So in my skin, I wanted to stay to see if I can get my way in the show.
Yeah.
But I did my homework and I reached out to Calvin Klein, to be honest, and I said, hey, I would love to work with the brand, whatever. And based on the response I got, was very respectful. They were like, to be honest, not said to be honest, but they were very professional. Where they say like, we prefer to work with agency models only because they're a lot more easier and everything. So they explained to me, and ever since I respect them. Ever since I respect them. But if I should give my hats off to a true inclusive brand, I would say Ralph Lauren. But my ideal brand to sponsor would be CK.
Got it. Man, it's been a great sit down, man. And this was a long time coming. Where we were saying we're gonna figure this out, but now that I got this,
I was waiting. Even before you reach out, I was like, how are he's going to put me on this? I was waiting. I was dead ass waiting.
I just wanted to make sure I got it right. And being that this is season 3, I think I kind of got my format of the way we roll this thing. And like I say, I want to get the messages out. I don't want it to feel like an interview. I want it to be like we in the bar having a conversation. And this basically gave me that feeling. I'm glad we waited till I knew how to present it the right way. So I want to definitely thank you again and give you the opportunity for whoever's, want to reach out, check out your work, or follow you with any production you got going on the line moving forward. Now is the opportunity. Let them hear it.
I mean, I would say to people, like, in every field you level up. So a lot of people see me as just the model that I am, but because I'm the person who braggy, I post, yes, but if you don't see, you don't see. So I would say not just because I'm a model, that doesn't mean I'm a model. I'm more than just a model. I started off as a model, of course. I am still a model, but there's more to me than just being a model. So I would say to people, like, give people a chance. But I say this to say because I started my own production company called Caribbean Fashion Collective, and I created the company, and it's been like 4 years I've been thinking about doing this, like 4 years. And I decided to do this a few months ago, where I get my LLC, get my trademark and everything. I invest money in this company. I never know it was going to cost me this much money. And I create this platform to give designers opportunity to create their own show. Yes, you're paying me to give you the space and whatever, but I'm also giving you creative control of your own show, because I'm tired to see designers come to shows where what they want they can't get, because number one, the hairstyle is not the hairstyle they want for the model. Makeup's not the makeup they want for their model. And only thing I would do is like the 15 look the maximum, 10 the minimum, 15 the maximum, because the show you can't be taking up 30 minutes of the show. That's too much. So I create this platform to give designers opportunity to really showcase their work in the way how they want to be showcased, and also for model, because I've seen both end, the model perspective, the production perspective, the agent perspective. So I'm doing this because I've been there, done that. I'm not doing it because I want to get rich quick scheme or take your money and go about my business. No, I want it just because I see the need for it and I want to present it to the fashion industry. So you can find me. Yeah, so you can find me on my IG page at IAM Xavier Walker, and then you can also find the company page, Caribbean.fashion.collective. And I have two great co-owners with me.
We're going to put all that in the description where they can find you, follow you, all of that good stuff, man. But thanks again for
And
joining.
before you go, I'm sorry, I'm taking up your time, Richard. And if anyone wants to apply to be in our September Fashion Week SS26 show, you can just go to the website caribbeanfashioncollective.com and fill out the registration form right there, and the team will reach out to you for sure.
Now, that's how you do it, man. Listen, I appreciate you again, my brother. Don't go nowhere, y'all. What a dope conversation. Shout out to the man Xavier for joining us, man, this week for just another dope build, man. Appreciate him for sure. Y'all make sure y'all check him out, everything he got going on. But for those that stuck to this part of the show, here's your favorite part. It's Fashion or Clashing. See, when we say fashion and clashing, y'all know the spiel by now. Fashion is dope. It's something that you will put in your closet. You like everything about the way it look. Or it's clashing. That shit is trash. Get it the fuck out of here. With that being said, let's jump into this week's first look.
Shit! I've been looking for you because you put a lot of fragrant niggas on your page. Niggas is really light.
Yo,
But I'm not gonna go there, niggas.
welcome. Hello.
Now you've been looking for me now.
Yeah.
You found me.
Yeah. I know where to find you.
He's back.
Hello.
Now
Nice,
let me stop. Stop that shit.
Welcome to Speak Your Fit. What's your name and where you from, brother?
What's the word, man? You know who I am, man. Mr. Major Comeback.
Yeah.
Little homie.
Uh-huh.
They might change my name, Mr. Speak Your Fit. Yo,
Hello.
Respectfully, from 8 to 80, they really love me though. But,
Nice.
know.
Speak your fit to me. Describe your fit, brother.
We went heavy this time because niggas is still light. So gotta get that together still.
Yeah.
Supreme Varsity, some
Damn.
shit. Nas, Supreme C, shout out to Esco and
Shout out to Nas, Big Queens.
right?
Hello.
Supreme socks.
Damn.
Sheesh. Black toe ones. They say these shits come out next year, some fake shit. I got them, that's what matters.
Yeah.
We went. We had it again, Harlem. We're gonna rock the world everywhere we go.
Hello.
Shout out to Slow and them.
Shout out to Slow, Big
Queens, Big Queens, you know that.
Nice.
See this look right here? It's not a bad fit. I'm gonna say it's fashion, but it's a little bit hype beastish, if I would say. Like, I get it. Supreme jacket is fire. I ain't gonna hold you. The whole kind of fur type of material varsity, it's a fire look. But to me, matter of fact, I'm gonna switch it. This is clashing. The reason I say it's clashing because it's very cliche. It's very hype beast-ish. You went Supreme jacket, Supreme tee, Supreme socks, and then the sneakers itself is kind of like, it's Jordan 1s. I know you really can't go wrong with a pair of Jordan 1s, but the whole ensemble together is a little bit juvenile, if I should say. So it's definitely clashing. I know some of y'all may be like, what the fuck is he talking about? But it's for me. That's why y'all have a voice and y'all can always write what y'all feel in the comment section. That being said, let's look into the next look, please. So me personally, I'm going to go clashing on this one right here because I'm not really a fan of the mohair type of clothing. The hat with the jacket. As a matter of fact, it was like a flannel top, but you didn't really see the flannel top because the jacket was covering. The best part about this outfit was maybe the glasses. I didn't like the hat. I didn't like the sneakers. The pants were kind of fire as well, so I'll give credit to the pants as well. But the rest of the outfit, it was just mid at best. So I'm going to go clashing on this one. Let's jump in and see what else we got.
Mystery Fashion is who I'm here with, and where you from?
It's PJ Tucker from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yo, rate your outfit from 1 through 10. We see you got that shit on, and let us know what you wearing.
I'm always a 10. You already know. You always putting this shit on. It's for the Philipp M show, so I got the Philipp M jacket, your shorts, the LV Air Force Ones, the AO socks, got the Acne hoodie, Bottega tank.
Yo, I was
Chrome
about
glasses.
to ask you, what tank is that shit? Because that shit look clean. What are 5 fashion essentials you cannot live without?
My jeans short wear, nice frames. I like chrome right now. I'm rocking the chrome. My sneakers got to be A1. I like wristwear. I like stuff on my wrist. I like bracelets. I like nice tanks too.
So when it comes to certain people, when it comes to certain, athletes, my question usually is, does what they wear and the things that they have accessibility to only come because they're rich? So that makes me wonder, is that person really fashionable, or that person just have access to a lot of fashionable things? That's always my quagmire with this whole situation. And I'm going to go, this is kind of clashing for me because I don't like Uptowns. I don't care if they Louis Vuitton. I don't care if they Pidgey. I don't give a shit what collaboration it is right now. 2024 going on 25. I don't think Uptowns is a thing, especially, the hype beast ones. And then the shorts with the rain type of coat, pea coat with the flannel underneath and the hood. The shit was kind of confusing for me. I think all these elements kind of work separately. And as a collective, this is clashing for me. I wasn't really feeling it. What else we got, man?
Hey, how you doing today?
Good, how you doing?
Fine. What's your name and where you from?
Michael Jejun Kim from South Korea. So,
Ooh, South Korea is definitely in the house. Stop playing with them.
come on.
Yes, sir, man. Cool fit. Describe it today.
you know, flew to Paris for the Balenci show. Shout out Demna. Got the one of one, all black, butterfly couture mask.
Jesus.
No one got this.
Boy, say 101.
Yep. Calf leather guard robe set.
Okay.
Got the engraving on the invitation.
Jesus.
Jeju.
Okay.
You know, shout out Oton Tai on the jewelry.
Uh-huh.
Wedding ring.
Uh-huh.
Watch to tell the time.
Jesus.
Little boots.
Okay. Okay. Okay, we see the belt, you know what I'm saying?
Black rhodium.
Jeez.
Chrome
to the
shirt.
dome. Okay, you give anybody a
Chrome.
styling tip, what would it be?
You know, respectfully, I think styling tips is overrated because no one else knows truly what's best for you.
Damn! Okay, young man.
All right, this right here is kind of puzzling because this is kind of one of the things that make me sit back and really think like, you know, are people dressing like this on purpose for, you know, statement moments or to go viral? Because the outfit in totality, it wasn't terrible. The rest of it, the mask shit just threw me off the rip. I kind of probably would have walked away seeing somebody in a mask like that and wouldn't even take them serious. But in the second aspect of it, it's like everything was just oversized for unnecessarily. The boots was all right. I probably wear the boots, but the rest of it is kind of giving me like, I'm not really into all of that. So for me personally, I probably say this is clashing, and I don't know. It's just weird. Get it the fuck out of here. The mask and that eyes wide shut shit, man. Yo, Kanye, you making shit weird out here, man. Go to the next look, please.
Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, good.
Fine. What's your name and where you from?
My name is Bo. I'm from New York.
Ooh, NYC is in the house. Stop playing with them, okay? Cool fit today. Describe it right quick.
Comb shorts.
Damn,
churches.
Okay.
Churches loafers. A Lacoste shirt.
Okay.
Vuitton bag.
Ooh.
Vuitton bag.
Damn.
Cartier watch.
Jeez.
My own jewelry.
Okay. Shout out your brand. What's your brand name?
My brand name is, well, I don't really have a brand. I work for other brands.
Okay, cool. If you give anybody a styling tip, what would it be?
More is better.
Cool, okay.
Oh man, this shit right here is funny, yo. This is another one. This is clashing. He looked like a soccer dad that got dressed in a. Matter of fact, forget being a soccer dad. He looked like he was out in the club and went and fell into like a cocaine binge or some shit like that, and woke up the next morning in New York City with all of this shit on. Because he got two bags on. I don't understand the reason for that. His shirt collar is all over the place. Shit like he got yanked and snagged on all night. And then the shoes with the shorts and then like all that shit, none of that shit came together. So this is definitely clashing, but I guess he had a hell of a night by the looks of his face. So shout out to OG, man. Whatever he was doing last night, that's between him and God. Go to the next look, y'all.
Hey, how you doing today?
I am fine today.
Great. What's your name and where you from?
I'm Suzanne Golden, and I live right here in New York City.
Cool. NYC is definitely in the house. Stop playing with her.
Certainly is.
Yes. This is an amazing fit. Describe it today.
Thank you. Everything I have on basically is Comme des Garçons.
Damn.
And noir.
Correct. Okay.
Part of that. And of course, who can resist a little Walter?
Jeez.
Is this a long penis? And a little set of you-know-whaters.
Okay. We see it all. We see everything. We see the outfit, the bag.
These are all, by the way, men's pants from En Plus.
Ooh.
And the shirt is En Plus.
Damn.
You know, like the boys. We cross over.
Okay. This is what you call comb correct. We see the bag, everything.
A little gift.
Love it. If you give anybody a styling tip, what would it be?
Find your sense of identity.
Ooh.
Work for what fits you and no one else.
I love that. That's a great tip.
So this right here definitely put a smile on my face with seeing all of this shit that came together in this look. I'm feeling it. It's definitely fashion. She was playful with the little penis that she got on the end of the toy. This was cool. I like the shirt a lot. The silhouette of the pants was kind of fire because, you know, she said they were men's pants. And being the fact that she has enough confidence, especially as an older woman, to kind of even pull that look off with the accessory bag, with the glasses. Yeah, she did her damn thing here. This is fashion all the way around. I'm feeling it. Shout out to Auntie, man. Roll the next look, yeah. Y'all, at first, let me keep it real. At first, I really didn't see the direction of this one. And the more that she laid the outfit, this took it from what the fuck to goddamn, she killed that shit. The comb jacket really put it over the top. Once again, y'all know she don't really miss. Her silhouettes and her ideas are the baggy aesthetics, but she kills it each and every time. The boots is fire, shorts kind of dope, but the jacket itself was like the statement piece, and then the glasses kind of gave it a little bit of bump to it. So once again, definitely, this is fashion in my book, man. Phew, she killed it. Let's see what else we got.
I'm loving right now the jorts and like a heel,
Okay.
like a boot.
Okay. I like that.
Yes,
You?
yes. I'm loving heels and sweatpants.
Okay.
Hot take.
You guys look great today.
Thank you.
Can you get a fit breakdown real quick?
Yes. Okay. So this is from Depop.
Okay.
Depop.
Okay.
This is
Depop.
Right.
Okay.
Random wife beater cut to perfection.
Okay.
This is from Supreme. These pants are so fun.
We see that.
And then these are from like an Instagram brand. I forgot what, but they're kind of supposed to mimic Rick's.
Okay,
but
Sash, you can't miss the accessories now.
Come on. Don't play with me.
We see it. Alright, rate the fit today from 1 through 10 and why?
Let's see. I would give me a solid 9.
It gotta be a 10. It gotta be a 10. It's a 10.
I'll give you a 10 always.
It's a 10
always.
Alright, what about you? Get a fit breakdown real quick.
This is from Supreme.
Okay.
This also cut myself.
Okay.
At Walmart. Jean Vintage.
Okay.
Hers, I stole it.
Okay.
Fashionova, Balenci. And then the jewelry.
Okay.
Everywhere.
I see some accessories, guys. Accessories crazy. It's crazy.
I don't know what
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So this right here is actually fashion because, this is where we're going with the culture. It doesn't matter what the color, the race is, anything. But the way that she's kind of playful with all her colors in the outfits, the body looks good, so she cropped the shirt all the way to the top. And then she gave streetwear elements, and it was very confident the way it came on. So I'm definitely rocking with this. I'm going to say it's fashion. I think a couple of people could take notes from that because none of that shit was really high-end shit. It was playful, affordable fashion. She even had kind of the knockoff Rick Owens, but she owned up to it. So all in all, this was creative, and I like it. It's passable. Anything else? See what we got.
Fist from the streets, all the pleasure speaking with.
Yo, it's Bobby. Black mid.
All right.
Capital.
Right.
Birth of a royal child.
Right.
Saint socks.
Okay.
Capital pants.
Right. Can't forget the cat either.
Yeah. Brooklyn. Slow hat.
Right.
We did.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
How about you?
Boss Street, of course.
Right.
Galaxy.
Okay. On white. For sure. Good cat.
Slow on the hat.
Right.
Hold on.
Talk to him. Right. Can't forget that. Detail.
Big swag. I went nice on the feet.
Yeah.
Big queens.
Right.
It's on the hat too. Big queen.
Okay.
Down, up, slow. And it's on my neck.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Please
Right.
get the money. I'm a Patty LaBelle.
Right. Shout out Patty.
I don't know the name of this, but shout out my bro
Good
Top
shirt.
Snaps. On the pants.
Birth of a royal child.
Royal child.
Right.
Saying? On the socks, Kiff.
Yo,
Perform.
all right, so look, who got the best fit?
Right now?
Yeah.
I feel like the Black Miz took him.
Yeah.
It took him.
I never seen such a room full of bad fits from young men in my life. None of that shit was rocking. You see what I'm saying with the hype beat shit? First off, the black uptowns, and they were mids, was bad. I don't care if they got a red Supreme stamp on it or not. The whole fit was bad from each and every one of them. None of that shit looks good. None of that shit comes together. I wasn't really feeling any of it. And this is kind of where the direction of fashion is going with the youth. They kind of steer it in a direction that it can't be respun. I don't know what's going on. The effort isn't there. The look isn't there. And these are rappers. the people we once looked up to, Big Daddy Kane's, and you know what I'm saying, all these LLs and all these people, we don't get the same feeling with our rappers because they just don't know how to dress. Please bring back the PR department. Please bring back the stylists because they need help. And I ain't discussing it no more. Go to the next look. What's crazy about this? This is actually clashing to me this time around. I think the big balloon pants it's okay. It's a look. But this one right here, I just think it's just too much going on, you know. It didn't have to be that wide. But for him, I guess it looks fashionable. But for me, it's clashing. I really couldn't wear that, and I wouldn't really try to pull it off. Maybe I got to get a little skinny and then try to look. But me personally, I'm going to go clashing on this one. But that's all we got for this week. Shout out to y'all. This is season 3. Let's Talk Fashion. I'm your host, Remo, aka Mr. Rich Threads. Follow us on IG and all platform at Rich_Threads. That's RICHE_Threads. And on that note, until next week, we out of here. Peace.